here to review the comic book X-Men titled Wolverine Enter Deathstrike. This is issue 114 in June of 1997. If you turn the first page, it's got some of the credentials. Larry Hama was the writer, and it looks like, a pretty cool cover. I liked it a lot. It was, it's got Deathstrike with her mechanical bionic arms, attacking Wolverine, holding his head with her giant hands, and Wolverine's kind of struggling a little bit. In this comic book, Wolverine was definitely the hero. He goes on this journey to find some type of evil that he's sensing. The comic book is set in the East Village in New York City, which I thought was kind of funny. So it's an actual place, a real place. So the first page, it has Wolverine kind of perched up on a car, just talking about how he went to the East Village to try to get his life together, but it looks like something has followed him, and that's the evil, the supernatural force that he senses, so he's going to go try to find that. So he kind of walks around a little bit, the East Village, and he goes to this kind of alley, this dark alley that he can smell something down there. He's not really sure what it is, but it happens to be Hellstorm, another mutant, and he talks with Hellstorm for a while. Apparently Wolverine is holding, he's not holding, but he's keeping safe this magical box that was given to him by somebody that they're gonna talk about in the next couple of pages. And Hellstorm just warns him that he needs to keep it safe, and make sure that it doesn't fall into the wrong hands, the evil hands. And Hellstorm kind of just flies away on a little thunderbolt. And as soon as that happens, Lady Deathstrike jumps in and attacks Wolverine. She's got a chokehold on him, and he's kind of surprised because that attack came out of nowhere. So going to the next page, it cuts to a scene where Jean Grey and Storm are just kind of standing around in this apartment and talking about Wolverine and the box that he has been told to keep safe, which happens to be in the apartment that they're in. Storm and Jean Grey are looking at the box, picking it up, trying to figure out where it came from. And Jean Grey says that the box was given to Wolverine by Zoe Calden. And there's actually a little asterisk on Zoe Calden, the name, and then at the bottom of the page it says see issue 111. So this is more. This is just a part of a larger story, a more complex story, but it still is a very cool issue. They look at the box, and Storm opens the box, and she's very surprised at what she sees, but she doesn't necessarily say what's in it. Cutting to the next page, Wolverine and Deathstrike are still fighting away, and it looks like Wolverine gets her with a couple of good swipes with his claws, and then it cuts back to another scene where this is in another apartment. This lady named Helen walks into this apartment, and she's looking for weapons because she feels that she has to help out Wolverine. And that's about it on that page. The next page is just more fighting. Wolverine and Deathstrike are still going at it. Wolverine gets her with some really good blows and kind of tears her face a little bit. But the next page shows her face complete again because she's been given the power of she's been given restorative properties, allowing her to regenerate anything that's been injured on her body, even though she's bionic, and she looks more like a robot than any human I've seen, at least. They fight some more, and they're arguing about this box, and Wolverine just wants to keep the box safe. Deathstrike says that it's her birthright to get this box back. Not sure what's in the box, they haven't said. She's jealous that he got the adamantium skeleton and she did not. She says that her father was the one that invented that procedure, and she felt that it was stolen by Wolverine because he had the procedure done on him. At the end of this page, they kind of just come to a truce because there's no, they can't really kill each other because they can both regenerate, so there's kind of no point in, it seems like there's no more point in fighting. So, cut to the next scene is back in the apartment, and Jean Grey and Storm are still looking at this box, and in busts Helen through the door. She's got some guns and she's shooting at them. Jean Grey stops all the bullets with her force field, and Storm pushes her back with gale force winds because she can control the weather. And as Helen's kind of recuperating from that blow, Jean Grey goes into her mind and finds that she's been possessed by an evil spirit. This evil spirit and Jean kind of battle it off inside of Helen's brain. It's kind of like on another plane or another dimension almost. Jean Grey kills the spirit and releases the spirit from Helen's mind. And just as the spirit is leaving Helen's mind, Wolverine and Deathstrike both come in and try to figure out what's going on. Jean and Storm explain what happened, and Helen is kind of laying there oblivious to what has just gone on. But Helen does not recognize Wolverine in his costume because I guess when he met her, he was just Logan, not Wolverine, so he wasn't wearing a costume or anything. And she was kind of surprised. He was just saying how he's sorry that he was hiding his past from her. Apparently, she has a past as well. She was a POW in the Gulf War, and left her kind of traumatized. So that's why she's so good with weapons, because she's been training so that she would never be held captive against her will again, which was kind of cool. As after Helen tells her little story about her being a POW, the evil spirit comes back and possesses Deathstrike, gets into Deathstrike's mind, and looks like there's beams of energy and light coming from Deathstrike's mouth and eyes and hands, and it looks like she's possessed. She actually looks kind of like a zombie now, which I thought was the illustration in this comic book is amazing. It's very, very, very cool. And right as Deathstrike jumps out of the window to run away from everybody and go do evil things, Wolverine realizes that it's not just an evil spirit. It's his teacher, the guy that trained him. His name is Ogun, and Wolverine seems to think that they're in for some trouble now because Ogun was a very powerful teacher. Overall, I thought this book, or this comic, was very well illustrated. It's pretty easy to read as well. The panels are spaced out. They're sort of big panels. There's not a whole lot of little tiny panels in this comic book. It's pretty clear who's saying what when it comes to the bubbles, and also the commentary boxes as well are pretty easy to decipher. There weren't a whole lot of reviews on this comic book because it's one in several, I think, of this story. But the hero's journey, I guess I would say would be Wolverine's journey to find the box or protect the box, this magical box that they don't really state. They didn't say what was in the box. I guess that's in a later issue maybe. I would say that Wolverine is a Byronic hero. He's got a troubled past, which could lead to the destruction of him or lead him to doom. But overall, I thought it was a well written comic, and I look forward to trying to find the rest of these comics in this series. So in conclusion, it was a great comic. I liked it a lot, and I suggest that everybody read X-Men number 114 of June 1997, Wolverine Enter Deathstrike.